Who really has the power? On the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a widespread event in modern European history that began in 1780 and ended in the late 1790s. With the ascent of the Napoleon Bonaparte during this period, French citizens raised and reset their country's political landscape. After centuries, all institutions such as absolute monarchy and the feudal system, the uptrend was caused by the widespread discontent with the French monarchy and the poor economic policy of King Louis XVI, who met his death by a guillotine as did his wife Marie Antoinette. Although it failed to achieve all its goals and time degenerated into a chaotic bloodbath, the French Revolution played a critical role in the shaping modern nation by showing the world the power inherent in the will of the people. As the 18th century drew to a close, France got involved in the American Revolution, an extravagance expanded by King Louis XVI, and his successor had left the country on the brink of bankruptcy. Not only were the Royal Confederates deployed, but 2 decades of poor harvests, drove cattle disease and skyrocketing breed prices of kindle oils among peasants on the urban poor. Many expressed their desperation and resentment toward a regime that imposed heavy taxes, yet failed to provide any relief by rioting, looting, of security. In the fall of 1786, Louis XVI Controller General Charles Alexandre Colonel pursued a financial remove packet that included a universal land tax from which the privileged class will no longer be exempt. Two younger supports for these measures and forestall growing aristocratic revolt. The king summoned the States General, let's Generaux, an assembly representing French Caribbean nobility and middle class for the first time since 1640. The meeting was scheduled for May 5, 1789. In the meantime, delegates of the three states from each locality will complete list of the grievances to present to the king. French population has changed considerably since 1614. The enormous members of the third state now represent 98% of the people, but still outvoted by the other two bodies. In the lead out to the May 5 meeting in the third state to mobilize a support for equal representation and abolishment of the noble veto. In other words, they want voting by head in not by status. While all the others share a common desire for fiscal or judicial reform as well as a more representative form of government, the nobles in particular were allowed to give up the privilege enjoyed under traditional system. Tennis court ought. By the time the States General convened at Versailles, the highly public debate or its voting had erupted into hostility between the three orders, except the original purpose of the meeting in the authority of the man who had convened it. On June 17, with talks over produced still the third statement, met alone on the formal adoption of the title of National Assembly. 3 days later, they met an nearby indoor tennis court and took the so-called tennis court out, one vowing not to dispose until constitutional reform had been achieved. Within a week, most of the clerical despots of 47 liberal nobles had joined them, and on June 27, Louis XVI grudgingly absorbed all three others into the new assembly. On June 12 as the National Assembly, Constitution Assembly during its war constitution continued to meet Versailles for the violent consumed to the capital. Though enthusiastic by the recent breakdown of royal power, Parisians grew panicked as the rumors of impending military coup began to circulate. A popular insurge culminated on July 14 when rioters stormed the Bastille, attempted to secure proper and weapons. Many consider this event now French is a national holiday. At the start, the French. On August 4, the Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of the Man and the Citizen, a statement of democratic principles grounded in the physical and political ideas. Thinkers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau. The document proclaimed assembly committed to the replace an ancien regime with a system based in the equal opportunity, freedom of speech, popular sovereignty, and representative government. In April 1792, the new elected Legislative Assembly declared war on Austria and Prussia, where it believed that French immigrants were building lines. It saw hope in its revolutionary ideas across Europe. Warfare. Following the King's War with various European powers and intense decisions with national conventions onward the French Revolution into the most violent and turbulent phase. In June 1793, the Jacobins seized control National Convention from the more moderate Girondins and instituted a series of measures including the establishment of a new calendar in the eradication of Christianity. They also ended the bloody regime of the Terror. 10-month period in the suspected enemies of the revolution were gained by the thousands. Many of the killings were carried off under orders from Robespierre, who dominated the draconian Committee of the Public Safety until his own execution on July 28, 1794. On August 22, 1795, the National Convention largely of Girondins, who had survived the terror, approved a new constitution that created France's first bicameral legislature.